Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and history enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of American numismatics as we explore 6 of the most valuable and expensive ultra-rare United States coins ever produced. These coins aren't just worth a fortune. They tell powerful stories of history, design, rarity, and the moments that shaped U.S. coinage. From legendary minting eras to condition rarity masterpieces that collectors dream about, each coin on this list represents the very peak of desirability in the hobby. So sit back, enjoy the journey, and let's uncover what makes these extraordinary coins so valuable and sought after today. The most expensive and valuable United States quarter dollar from the year 1967 is not a circulation strike pulled from everyday pocket change, but rather a high-grade 1967 Washington quarter produced as part of the special mint set, especially examples displaying strong cameo or deep cameo contrast and preserved in near-perfect condition. While 1967 quarters are extremely common in general, elite specimens from these special mint sets occupy a very different tier in modern numismatics, commanding serious attention from collectors who appreciate condition rarity rather than absolute scarcity. Their appeal lies in the intersection of historical transition, unusual production methods, and the difficulty of finding examples that survive with pristine surfaces and exceptional eye appeal. Today, demand for top-graded 1967 SMS quarters remains strong, driven by registry-set competition, growing appreciation for modern issues, and a broader understanding that rarity in numismatics is often defined by quality, not just mintage figures. The historical context of the 1967 quarter is deeply rooted in one of the most turbulent periods in U.S. coinage history, when the nation was grappling with a severe coin shortage caused by rising silver prices and widespread hoarding. As a response, the Coinage Act of 1965 eliminated silver from circulating dimes and quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition, and suspended the use of mint marks to discourage collecting from circulation. The Philadelphia Mint produced all 1967 quarters, but instead of traditional proof coins, the U.S. Mint issued special mint sets for collectors between 1965 and 1967. These sets were struck with greater care than circulation coins, but without the full proof process, creating a hybrid product that stands apart within the Washington Quarter series. This unique historical moment gives the 1967 quarter a special place as a symbol of the end of America's silver coinage era and the government's attempt to stabilize the nation's monetary system. From a design perspective, the 1967 Washington quarter retains the classic John Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design that had already become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage since its debut in 1932. Washington faces left, with sharp classical lines that, in SMS examples, can display remarkable detail in the hair and facial contours when well struck. The reverse features the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, flanked by olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. The coin is composed of a copper core bonded to outer layers of copper-nickel, weighs 5.67 grams, and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. What makes high-end 1967 SMS quarters visually special is their semi-proof-like fields, sharp strikes, and in the finest examples, dramatic frosted devices contrasted against mirrored backgrounds, a feature that elevates them far beyond ordinary circulation strikes. Rarity for the 1967 quarter is not about how many were minted, as hundreds of millions entered circulation, but rather how few survive in top-tier condition, especially from special mint sets. Many SMS coins were mishandled, improperly stored, or developed haze and surface marks over time, making clean, high-grade examples genuinely scarce today. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by leading grading services are difficult to locate, and those awarded cameo or deep cameo designations are rarer still, as the minting process did not consistently produce strong contrast. Rarer varieties, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or dramatic die breaks, can also elevate value significantly, though these are secondary to condition rarity. In modern numismatics, the challenge of finding a flawless 1967 SMS quarter is precisely what fuels collector demand and justifies premium pricing. Market value for the most valuable 1967 quarter varies dramatically based on grade, designation, and eye appeal. A typical circulated example is worth only face value, while standard uncirculated pieces may trade for a few dollars. In contrast, a certified 1967 SMS quarter graded MS67 can sell in the range of several $100s, while MS68 examples have reached four-figure prices at major auctions. Coins with strong cameo or deep cameo contrast can command even higher premiums, with top specimens selling for well over $1,500, depending on demand and market conditions. Prices have shown steady appreciation over the past decade, as collectors increasingly recognize the difficulty of assembling high-grade modern sets and the limited population of elite examples. For collectors seeking to acquire a valuable 1967 quarter, attention to detail is essential. High-quality examples should exhibit clean fields, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks, particularly on Washington's cheek and the eagle's breast, which are common problem areas. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended, as it provides authentication, condition assurance, and liquidity in the marketplace. Proper storage in inert holders, away from humidity and temperature fluctuations, is critical to preserving surfaces and preventing haze or tunning. Collectors are best served by purchasing from established dealers, major auction houses, or trusted numismatic communities, and by studying population reports to understand just how rare top-grade examples truly are. In conclusion, the most valuable 1967 United States quarter dollar stands as a compelling example of how modern coins can achieve significant worth through historical relevance, production uniqueness, and extreme condition rarity. While it may lack the silver content or age of earlier issues, its role in a pivotal era of American coinage, combined with its aesthetic appeal in high-grade special mint set form, makes it highly desirable among serious collectors. For both newcomers and seasoned numismatists, the 1967 SMS Washington quarter offers a blend of history, beauty, and investment potential that continues to grow as fewer pristine examples remain available. Its enduring appeal ensures that it will remain an important and respected piece within the broader landscape of U.S. coin collecting. Next up in the most expensive and valuable United States quarter dollar from the year 1984, with a Denver mint mark, is not valuable because of silver content or low mintage, but because of its place in modern numismatics as a coin where rarity is driven almost entirely by condition and striking anomalies. The 1984 D Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington series, a series many collectors once overlooked due to its high mintages and clad composition. However, in recent decades, advanced collectors have begun to aggressively pursue ultra-high-grade examples and dramatic mint errors from this era, transforming certain 1984 D quarters into legitimately valuable coins. The appeal lies in the challenge, finding a sharply struck, fully lustrous example from a year and mint known for mediocre production quality. As a result, top-tier specimens and rare error varieties have become highly sought after, with strong competition at auction and steadily rising demand among registry set builders. The historical context of the 1984 D quarter places it squarely in the late Cold War era, a time when U.S. coinage was produced in enormous quantities to meet everyday circulation needs rather than collector demand. Struck at the Denver Mint, The 1984 D-quarter had a massive mintage exceeding 500 million pieces, reflecting a utilitarian approach to coin production. These coins were never intended to be collectibles at the time of issue, and few were saved in pristine condition. This period also coincided with cost-cutting measures at U.S. mints, resulting in weaker strikes, reduced die life, and less attention to aesthetic quality. Ironically, these production realities are precisely what make exceptional survivors from 1984 historically interesting today, as they offer insight into the challenges and priorities of modern U.S. coinage during the late 20th century. In terms of design, the 1984 D-quarter features the familiar John Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design first introduced in 1932 and retained for decades due to its iconic status. Washington is depicted facing left, with strong classical styling, while the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the portrait. The reverse showcases the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing national strength and peace. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad structure, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.67 grams. What makes the most valuable examples visually special is not the design itself, but the execution. Coins with razor-sharp feather details, full hair definition on Washington, blazing mint luster, and clean surfaces stand out dramatically against the vast majority of softly struck examples from this year. Rarity for the 1984 D-quarter is almost entirely condition-based, with true scarcity emerging at the highest mint state levels. While hundreds of millions were minted, very few survived without heavy bag marks, weak strikes, or surface abrasions. Coins graded MS-67 and above by major grading services are exceptionally rare, and MS-68 examples are considered major condition rarities. In addition to condition rarity, certain error varieties significantly elevate value, including doubled die obverse examples showing noticeable doubling on inscriptions, off-center strikes, clip planchets, and broad strikes. These errors occurred due to high-speed minting pressures and lax quality control, and authenticated examples are scarce. The combination of condition rarity and error scarcity creates intense collector interest, especially among specialists in modern Washington quarters. Market value for the 1984 D-quarter varies dramatically depending on condition and variety. Circulated examples are worth face value, while typical uncirculated coins may trade for a few dollars. However, certified MS-67 examples can command prices in the $400 to $1,000 range, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Coins graded MS-68 have sold at auction for several $1,000s, with prices sometimes exceeding $5,000 when demand is strong. Major mint error examples, such as dramatic doubled dies or well-centered off-metal strikes, can range from $500 to over $10,000 depending on severity and visual impact. These values are driven by registry competition, third-party certification, and the growing recognition that modern clad coins can be legitimately rare and investment-worthy when preserved at the highest levels. For collectors interested in acquiring a valuable 1984 D-quarter, patience and education are essential. High-quality examples should be carefully examined for strike sharpness, original luster, and minimal surface marks, as even small flaws can drastically affect grade and value. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is critical, especially for high-grade or error coins, as authenticity and grade consistency play a major role in market confidence. Proper storage in inert holders, stable temperature environments, and low humidity conditions helps preserve value over time. Collectors are best served by purchasing from established dealers, major auctions, or trusted numismatic communities, where provenance and accurate grading are more reliable. In conclusion, The 1984 D Washington quarter stands as a powerful example of how modern U.S. coinage can achieve significant value through rarity of condition and production anomalies, rather than age or precious metal content. Its historical relevance as a mass-produced circulation coin, combined with the scarcity of elite survivors, gives it a unique place in contemporary numismatics. For collectors, it offers both an intellectual challenge and a tangible investment opportunity, rewarding those who recognize quality in a series long dismissed as ordinary. As interest in modern coins continues to grow, the finest 1984 D quarters are likely to remain highly desirable, bridging the gap between everyday change and true numismatic treasure. Next up to and the most expensive and valuable United States quarter dollar dated 1987, with the D mint mark, is not a rarity in the traditional sense, but rather a modern classic whose value is driven by exceptional condition and unusual mint errors, making it an intriguing subject within contemporary numismatics. Struck at the Denver Mint as part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, the 1987 D quarter is widely collected because it represents the later years of the original Washington design before the dramatic shift to the 50-state quarters program in 1999. While millions were produced for everyday circulation, collectors today actively seek out the finest surviving examples, particularly those graded at the very top of the mint state scale or displaying dramatic errors. Its appeal lies in the contrast between its humble origins as pocket change and its potential to command strong prices when preserved in extraordinary condition, reflecting the broader collector interest in high-grade modern coinage. The historical context of the 1987 D Washington quarter places it firmly within the modern-clad era of U.S. coinage, a period defined by mass production, advanced minting technology, and a focus on durability rather than precious metal content. By 1987, the Washington quarter had been in continuous production for over 5 decades, originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth and later becoming a permanent design due to its popularity. The Denver Mint, responsible for striking the D Mint quarters, was producing coins at high speed to meet the demands of commerce during a time of economic stability in the United States. Although the coin does not commemorate a specific event unique to 1987, it represents the final full decade before the quarter series underwent one of the most significant transformations in U.S. numismatic history, giving it added contextual importance for collectors who specialize in typesets and modern series. In terms of design and physical characteristics, the 1987 D quarter follows the classic Washington quarter format that collectors know well. The obverse features John Flanagan's dignified left-facing portrait of George Washington, with crisp inscriptions reading Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1987, while the reverse displays a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches symbolizing peace and strength. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.67 grams, with a reeded edge typical of U.S. quarters. What makes high-grade examples special is the sharpness of the strike, full luster, and clean surfaces, qualities that are surprisingly difficult to find on coins that were mass-produced and heavily handled, elevating visually flawless specimens into a different class entirely. Rarity for the 1987 D quarter is primarily a function of condition rather than mintage, as tens of millions were originally struck and released into circulation. Most examples show wear, bag marks, or surface abrasions from bulk handling, which dramatically reduces their appeal to serious collectors. Truly rare pieces are those that survive in pristine uncirculated condition, especially at grades such as MS-67 or MS-68, where population numbers drop sharply. In addition, certain mint errors add another layer of scarcity, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and dramatic die breaks, all of which can transform an otherwise common coin into a highly desirable collectible. Because these errors occur randomly and in small numbers, they introduce genuine rarity into the series and significantly boost demand among error coin specialists. The market value of the 1987 D quarter varies widely depending on condition and special characteristics, with circulated examples typically worth only face value. However, uncirculated coins graded MS65 by reputable grading services often sell in the range of $5 to $15, while finer examples at MS67 can command prices between $75 and $200 due to their scarcity. The most valuable known examples, graded MS68 with exceptional eye appeal and strong luster, have achieved prices from $500 to over $1,000 at auction, reflecting intense competition among registry set collectors. Error varieties can exceed these figures depending on severity and visual impact, with dramatic mint errors sometimes selling for several $100s or more. These values are driven by condition rarity, third-party certification, and the growing interest in top-grade modern coins. Collectors interested in acquiring a valuable 1987 D quarter should focus on quality, authentication, and careful selection rather than quantity. Examining coins under good lighting and magnification is essential to identify sharp strikes, original luster, and minimal contact marks, all of which contribute heavily to grade and value. Certification by major grading services such as PCGS or NGC is highly recommended, as it provides market confidence and protects against overgrading or counterfeits. Proper storage using inert holders or slabs is crucial to preserve surfaces and prevent tunning or damage, and serious collectors often prefer purchasing through reputable dealers, major auctions, or established numismatic communities where provenance and authenticity are assured. In conclusion, the 1987 D Washington quarter stands as a compelling example of how modern U.S. coinage can achieve significant value through exceptional preservation and rarity of condition, rather than age or precious metal content. Its historical placement at the close of the traditional Washington quarter era, combined with its classic design and the challenge of finding flawless examples, gives it lasting appeal among collectors. Whether pursued as part of a complete Washington quarter set, a registry collection, or an error coin specialty, the finest examples of the 1987 D quarter offer both aesthetic satisfaction and solid long-term collecting interest. For both new and seasoned numismatists, it serves as a reminder that even ordinary coins can become extraordinary when quality, scarcity, and demand intersect. Next up to and the most expensive and valuable United States quarter dollar dated 1988p belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series, a coin that at first glance appears ordinary but, in exceptional circumstances, becomes surprisingly important to modern numismatics. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, the 1988p quarter is widely collected because it represents the high-quality, large-scale minting of late 20th century U.S. coinage, and because true top-grade survivors are far scarcer than most people assume. While hundreds of millions were produced for circulation, collectors actively seek the finest known examples and notable error varieties, which has driven strong demand for elite pieces. In today's market, the 1988p quarter stands as a reminder that even modern coins can achieve remarkable value when rarity, condition, and collector competition intersect. The historical context of the 1988p quarter places it near the end of the classic Washington quarter era that began in 1932, originally issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1988, the coin was part of everyday American commerce during a period of economic stability and technological modernization at the U.S. Mint. Philadelphia remained the primary minting facility for circulation coinage, producing massive quantities to meet nationwide demand. Although the coin does not commemorate a specific event tied to 1988 itself, it represents continuity in American numismatic tradition, just a decade before the Washington quarter design would be replaced by the immensely popular 50-state quarters program in 1999, giving earlier issues like the 1988p renewed attention from collectors seeking complete pre-statehood sets. In terms of design and physical characteristics, the 1988p Washington quarter follows the familiar and iconic format created by sculptor John Flanagan. The obverse features a dignified left-facing portrait of George Washington with crisp inscriptions reading "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1988, while the reverse displays a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches to symbolize strength and peace. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.67 grams. In high-grade mint-state condition, the coin's sharp strike, frosty luster, and clean surfaces reveal a level of visual appeal rarely seen in circulated examples. Rarity for the 1988p quarter does not come from low mintage, but from condition scarcity and the presence of collectible error varieties. While over 562 million coins were struck, the vast majority entered circulation and quickly suffered wear, bag marks, or dull surfaces. Coins grading MS-67 and above are genuinely scarce, and examples certified MS-68 by leading grading services are extremely rare, often representing only a handful of known specimens. Additionally, collectors pay close attention to error coins from this year, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and occasional double die obverse or reverse varieties. These factors dramatically reduce the number of desirable collector-quality pieces and significantly increase demand among specialists. The market value of the 1988p quarter varies widely depending on condition and variety, but the highest-end examples can command impressive prices. Circulated coins typically trade for face value, while standard uncirculated pieces in MS-63 to MS-65 condition usually sell for a few dollars. However, certified MS-67 examples can reach $100 to $300, reflecting their scarcity and collector interest. The most valuable known MS-68 examples have sold at auction for $2,000 to $4,000 or more, particularly when competition is strong. Error varieties can also bring substantial premiums, with dramatic mint errors sometimes selling for several $100s depending on visibility and rarity. These prices are supported by consistent auction results and growing interest in modern high-grade coinage. For collectors seeking a valuable 1988p quarter, careful selection and authentication are essential. High-quality examples should exhibit strong luster, minimal contact marks, and a sharp strike, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended, as professional grading provides confidence in authenticity and condition while protecting long-term value. Proper storage using inert holders, climate-controlled environments, and minimal handling helps preserve surfaces and prevent tunning or damage. Collectors often find the best opportunities through major coin auctions, trusted dealers, and specialized numismatic communities focused on modern issues and error coins. In conclusion, the 1988p Washington quarter demonstrates that modern U.S. coins can hold significant numismatic and financial value when preserved in exceptional condition or when exhibiting rare mint errors. Its historical placement near the end of a classic coinage era, combined with its iconic design and extreme condition rarity at the highest grades, makes it an appealing target for both seasoned collectors and newcomers to modern coin collecting. As interest in high-grade registry sets and modern rarities continues to grow, The finest examples of the 1988 P quarter are likely to remain highly sought after, offering a compelling blend of history, aesthetics, and long-term collecting potential.